Hey everybody, this is your Digital Super Saiyan 3 back here with a new video, and well, it's been a while since I did this video, which was my top 10 worst episodes of Batman the Animated Series. So now I'm going to do the best episodes of Batman the Animated Series. So, which episodes are my absolute favorites? Well, these are my absolute favorites of Batman Taz. And don't worry, I'm going to do the new Batman Adventures best and worst episodes, but they are mainly top 5s. So this is my top 10 best Batman the Animated Series episodes, or just top 10 Batman the Animated Series episodes. Number 10, Perchance to Dream. Now this was Kevin Conroy's favorite episode. Yes, this episode was Kevin Conroy's absolute favorite doing. And I could see why. This episode, given it another watch, it was a really good one. Bruce Wayne wakes up one day and everything in his life is perfect. His parents are alive, he's marrying Selina Kyle, and someone else is doing Batman, but some part of him just refuses to let it go. Also, this was also the very best appearance of the Mad Hatter, as if you've seen Perchance to Dream, you know what this episode's all about, so I won't go into too much in detail about it. Either way, I do like the final battle in this on top of the bell tower in the middle of the rain. It was a great battle, seeing Bruce Wayne take on his alter ego, and also the fact that the reveal of the Mad Hatter gets revealed right away. I mean, I love the way Mad Hatter is revealed as the main villain of this episode. It's a really good reveal. Definitely better than the Mad Hatter reveal we got in the Worrymen episode. Number 9, The Joker's Favor. Okay, so this isn't the only Joker-centric episode on this list, but I definitely love The Joker's Favor. So, a guy by the name of Charlie Collins basically cussed out the Joker on the freeway. So, Joker followed him, and he owes Joker a favor. 2 years pass, and the Joker finally decides to use that favor by planting a bomb on Commissioner Gordon during Commissioner Gordon's big heroes dinner that the city is throwing him in appreciation to honor him. Of course, Charlie then gets the idea to contact Batman for help. Of course, he also threatened to kill... The Joker also threatened to kill Charlie's family. Heck, my favorite part of the episode would have to be the finale where Charlie confronts Joker, and we see the Joker get a taste of his own medicine in this episode. So, The Joker's Favor is a really good episode, and hell, it was also the first on-screen appearance of Harley Quinn. Yes, this took place before Harley Quinn's, origin episode, which would come in the new Batman Adventures. And also, before the Mad Love comic ever came out. It's a really good episode and definitely makes the list. Number 8, Harley and Ivy. Well, this was the episode that kickstarted the friendship between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. The two meet during a museum heist. Ivy was stealing plant samples from the museum's, laboratory, while Harley was trying to steal a diamond, basically trying to prove that she could break out on her own. After she got kicked out of the Joker's hideout, after the Joker yelled at her even though she helped get them away from Batman. And soon Harley and Ivy become the two biggest criminals in Gotham City, becoming the queens of crime. Soon the Joker finds out about this, and he is really pissed off about this. So he goes to Harley and Ivy's stronghold, and we have a final confrontation with the Joker here in this episode, but more often or not, we see Harley and Ivy's friendship be put through the test. I mean, Ivy teaches Harley to be more independent, while Harley, some part of her just can't let her obsession with the Joker go. I mean, sure, in more recent years, Harley's become a lot more independent and a lot more stronger of a character, but this was Taz Harley. This was animated series Harley, where it all started. And we have this episode to thank for the friendship between Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. And I love how the two managed to even capture Batman in this episode. It's a real fun romp, and I definitely love Harley and Ivy as an episode. Number 7 is 2 episodes put together. It's If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? And What Is Reality? These 2 are Riddler episodes. Since most of the Riddler, if you ever read any comics with the Riddler in it, or seen anything with the Riddler in it, he'll always have something in the form of a question. Hence why he has a question mark. If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? Is more of a revenge story for Riddler, as he's trying to get revenge on his boss for firing him and taking his idea of his design of this video game he designed called Labyrinth of the Minotaur. And in his second appearance, well, the Riddler, in What Is Reality, the Riddler kidnaps Commissioner Gordon and traps him in a virtual realm inside a giant computer. Both of these episodes feature Batman and Robin trying to stop the Riddler. First with the Riddler's revenge on his boss in If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? And then the second time in What Is Reality? I love these 2 Riddler episodes because they're just too fun to watch. I couldn't decide which Riddler episode I liked more, so I put them both on here, after giving them both another watch. And yet again, these 2 episodes just impressed me with how much I loved the Riddler's character in this series. John Glover does a good performance as the Riddler. Yes, this was years before Lionel Luthor, but it was definitely a good start for John Glover in the DC family. Number 6, Heart of Ice. Every Batman animated series fan knows Heart of Ice very well. Everyone knows this episode very well. Mr. Freeze's origin was rewritten in this episode, was rewritten for this show to be more sympathetic than his original counterpart from the 50s. He's doing this all for his wife, who was sick and dying, and she was cryogenically frozen in order to prevent her from dying. But Freeze's boss then decides to shut down Freeze's experiment. There was a fight in the laboratory where Freeze worked at GothCorp, and then Freeze is knocked into a vat of chemicals, which allows him to not be able to live within the confines of sub-zero temperatures, which he wears the cold suit to keep him at sub-zero temperatures. This episode does its job well to reinvent a classic villain like Mr. Freeze, more than just a guy who shouts stupid puns. Yeah, thanks a lot, Joel Schumacher, you idiot. But yeah, this episode is a really good episode, and I love every moment of this episode. Number 5, The Last Laugh. Well, here's another Joker episode, everyone. Sure, not too many people talk about The Last Laugh as one of their favorite episodes, but there are some people who out there like The Last Laugh, and I'm actually one of them. Originally, this episode was my number 1, but then it got booted down to the number 5 spot. Yeah, I know, I put this above Heart of Ice, and I know a lot of people love Heart of Ice more, but The Last Laugh to me was just so enjoyable. I love the tune that plays to it. I love how it was also I also loved, not only the music in the episode, but I enjoyed a lot of it, like especially the Captain Clown sequence when Batman is fighting the Joker's mechanical hench robot, Captain Clown. And he throws Batman in this giant container, and then Joker pokes holes in the container and then throws Batman in, or throws the container into the river with Batman inside and the capsule about to flood. And Batman does save himself, of course, because he's Batman. Why wouldn't Batman save himself? And of course, the final showdown in the incinerator was a lot of fun as well. Sure, not too many people like The Last Laugh as their one of their favorite Batman in the Animated Series episodes, but I do enjoy it quite a bit, and I enjoy it a lot. Number 4, Two-Face, Parts 1 and 2. Now, this is the only two-parter episode on this list. Mainly, this has to deal with Harvey Dent becoming Two-Face. I mean, we see Harvey be trapped in this whole duality spectrum. You have his good nature and his bad nature. His bad nature known as Big Bad Harv. Part 1 is just hardcore, just seeing Harvey turn into this blood-curdling monster. And then Part 2 was all about revenge and love. Revenge on the man who turned him into Two-Face, Rupert Thorne. Yes, Rupert Thorne definitely would be deserving of a spot on my list of favorite Batman the Animated Series villains for his creation of Two-Face. And also, not only that, but we also see Harvey was about to get engaged to his girlfriend, Grace. Sadly, though, that never came to be. All thanks to Rupert Thorne. Molly! Number 3, Blind as a Bat. Okay, now, one character who has never had the best track record when it came to the Batman animated series type of episodes was the Penguin. But if I had to pick my favorite episode that the Penguin appeared in, it would have to be Blind as a Bat. I mean, in this episode, Batman goes blind, temporarily blind after the Penguin steals this aircraft that was created by Wayne Industries. And the Penguin is at his best here as he's holding the city hostage. This is a Penguin scheme on a whole large scale. Sure, I put 2 Penguin episodes on the list of the worst, but heck, the Penguin made up for it with this episode. And I love the big showdown at the end where Batman, who has to fight the Penguin all blind, has to overcome the blindness. Yes, he built sonars into his suit, but the suit still gets damaged in the fight nonetheless, or the sonars get damaged, but he still has to deal with Penguin nonetheless. It's an interesting concept of seeing Batman go blind and having to still deal with being Batman. And at the number 1 spot is Trial. Trial is an interesting episode because you have the inmates of Arkham Asylum all capturing Batman. You have the new DA having to defend Batman in a court that is run by the inmates of Arkham. So, it's an interesting scenario that we got here. This is what a trial inside Arkham Asylum would be like. You have Two-Face as the prosecution, the Joker as the judge, and the rest of Batman's rogues gallery as the jury. I mean, is Batman just as guilty as the rest of them? Or did they all choose this path? That's kind of the ideals that we get in this episode. It's a really fun episode nonetheless. We see the big final showdown where Batman does take down most of his rogues gallery all in one episode. So it's a very unique episode nonetheless. Trial definitely is my all-time favorite Batman the Animated Series episode. Until I rewatch the series again, Trial will definitely remain here on the list. Anyway, this has been your Digital Super Saiyan 3, and I will see you guys next time for when I do decide to do the new Batman adventures. See ya!